lots of digital evidence today tying Donna and the rest of those criminals, the Adelson family, to the crime. We're going to go through cell phone stuff. We're going to go through emails. There's going to be an audio recording of the wiretaps that was done between Charlie, Donna, Charlie, Catherine McManua. Lots of undercover things happening right now. And ooh, quite an operation this was. And more evidence that just makes Wendy look really bad. Her trying to figure out Dan Markel's schedule, her deleting a text message that seems inconsequential, her deleting a calendar invite, just some really weird stuff with Wendy Adelson. So although Donna Adelson is the focus of this trial, the state is trying to prove that there are strong connections with Wendy, with Charlie, with Catherine, the hitman. It's a lot of people. But again, you know, in order to go after Donna, they have to make sure everyone else is also very solid. And Wendy's the beginning of this whole thing because everything surrounds Wendy. Wendy's the one that's married to Dan Markel. She has access to his schedule. She knows where he lives. And Wendy's the one that wants to move to South Florida. And her family does want her to move down to South Florida as well. But, you know, Wendy is really at the center of all of this. So it might seem like the focus is being shifted away from Donna, but they got to make sure that Wendy is also part of this because Wendy was the one that's passing down information from Dan Markel and what she knew about him over to her family, so he would be murdered. So as we're going through this testimony, I'm going to try to explain things and link back to previous testimonies of other people because I know you guys, you know, there are some of you guys that are watching the trial from beginning to end and you're like really paying attention. You're taking notes like I am. However, a lot of you guys are kind of just watching it passively or maybe just have it in the background. And so I'm going to try to tie it to previous testimony and maybe like some other knowledge that I might have about it. Now we're starting with Donna's email because so far it seems like Wendy and the defense team are trying to say that, well, when Wendy's relocation was denied with prejudice, Donna didn't know that that was the end of it because Donna wasn't actually at the hearing. Donna was waiting outside of the courtroom, waiting to testify. Wendy testified saying, well, when the judge said denied with prejudice, I actually forgot what with prejudice meant. I thought there was a chance. And Donna's defense attorney was like, well, you didn't tell your mom about this, that it was denied with prejudice. And she's like, no, I didn't tell my mom, which there's a lot of issues, a lot of red flags about that. Because one, Wendy went to law school. Wendy was practicing law stuff, you know, law adjacent stuff. She was like a professor. So you're telling me that Wendy didn't know what denied with prejudice meant, or she just forgot? And not only that, Donna is so involved in Wendy's life. Donna was outside of the courtroom. You're telling me that after the court ended and she realizes that the relocation was rejected, you're telling me she didn't go outside and tell Donna what happened in the courtroom? You're telling me Wendy was just like, oh, well, better luck next time. All right, guys, let's go get lunch. And that's it. You're telling me that's what happened? And you're also telling me that, remember, Wendy has representation. Wendy's attorney would have been like, okay, guys, well, you know what? We tried. I'm really sorry that, you know, there's nothing we can do anymore. There's just so many things that just not adding up. So that's why Wendy, you know, I think they're going to come after you next. But this is an email that Donna sends to a friend. And again, this reinforces the fact that the family knew the relocation was denied and it's done for. That's it. And because of this, they have to do other things to try to get Dan Markel to relocate or get rid of Dan Markel so Wendy can just relocate with the children, because then the Dan Markel barrier is going to no longer be there. All right, here's the email.
Yes.
Does it appear her understanding is it's denied and there's no chance for an appeal?
That would be correct, yes.
Okay, well, let me switch it back over.
I'll read the email to you guys. I think that's what I was planning on doing. So Donna writes an email to Barry and Vicky Kligerman. She writes, not in the mood to talk right now and hope you'll understand. Wendy's hearing for relocation was denied. And here's what Donna says. No chance at the appellate level for an appeal. We're all very disappointed. We'll talk soon. I promise. Love, Donna. Sent from my iPad. Now, when Wendy went up there to testify to say that she didn't know that the relocation was denied and that was it, that was done for, and that Donna didn't know about that, well, this email shows otherwise. So I wonder if Wendy didn't know about this email. And then later on when the email was brought up, Wendy was like, oh, fuck. Well, time to change my testimony for in the future then. All right, next one. Here's a timeline that they constructed showing that During the first murder attempt of Dan Markel, where the hitman drove up on, it was like on June 2nd, they went up there. But right before it happened, you could see the phone calls and how it's like, Harvey calls Charlie, and then Charlie, calls Catherine. Catherine texts Sigfredo. You could see the chain of like how the communications went between the Adelson family, Catherine McBanois, the hitman, and then vice versa. So they're basically just having this timeline laid out for the jury just so they can see it. And I really do appreciate the visuals because it's a lot of people that are involved. I'm glad there's pictures on there. I'm glad it makes it easy to understand what the hell it is that's going on because, again, a lot of people are involved in this. Again, continuing with the timeline, this is the night before the hitmen were heading out to attempting to murder Dan Markel. And this is the one where they failed because they were following Dan Markel, but they didn't want to do it in front of the children, which is what Rivera testified to on day 1 or day 2. And then later on, they actually ended up losing Dan Markel. So they gave up and they drove all the way back down to Miami at the dismay of the Adelson family. This is a cell site location of the hitman. Again, hitman is very near Dan Markel, which is 2116 Trescott Drive. That's where Dan Markel lives. So it shows the cell site activity. It shows the rent-a-car location that the hitmen are very close to Dan Markel. And again, this is still on trip number 1. This is basically zooming the whole thing out. For those who aren't familiar, this is the map of Florida. And South Florida is right around down here. So you can see the hitman traveling up to Tallahassee. Is that my phone? Oh, my bad. I didn't silence my phone. I'm sorry, y'all. So this is the route that the hitman took and their cell site to track their drive up. Again, we're still on attempted murder 1. This is a little graph that they have showing the calls between each of the people. So you have Harvey here. Harvey is sitting in the courtroom, hasn't been charged yet. We have the hitman down there, charged, convicted. Catherine McBanois, who was the connector, charged and convicted. She testified yesterday. Charlie Adelson, charged and convicted, hasn't testified yet. Maybe he will. There's Donna Adelson right there. So these are the number of, I don't know if they're phone calls or communications, including like phones, texts, emails, and stuff like that. I don't remember. All right, next. Donna's text message about the birthday present. So just a little bit of an explainer. People were floating this theory that Donna, Charlie, Wendy wanted to give Harvey the best birthday present for his 70th birthday. And what will be the best birthday present? To have Wendy and the boys relocate to be closer to Harvey and the family. And how would they do that? Well, they would kill Dan Markel.
In Miami without having killed Dan Markel on this trip.
Okay, I swear I boosted the audio. Sarah Dugan, could you go to the microphone, please?
Earlier in the presentation, yesterday, right before we broke in the afternoon, we saw we're back in March of 2014. Donna Adelson tells Charlie Adelson she has to talk to him about something private while she's on the road on the way to Gainesville, and says to erase this text. Do you remember that?
I do, yes.
Okay. And then a few minutes after she sends that message, she says the subject of the private call is going to be about Dad's birthday.
Correct.
Dad's birthday gift, actually. Is that right?
Yes.
And she does not tell him to erase that text where she's saying the subject of the private call.
That's correct.
Now, in June, specifically on June 7th, did Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson exchange texts about this birthday present for Harvey Adelson again?
Yes.
Kind of weird that they're talking about this birthday present because Rob Adelson testified yesterday, I believe on day 3. Rob Adelson, the eldest brother, the one who basically distanced himself from the family because he thinks the family is involved in the murder of Dan Markel. He testified saying that, normally Donna's the one who's going to arrange collecting money from everyone so they can contribute to getting a birthday present. However, for this year, that didn't happen. And Donna writes, oh, we don't need a birthday present. Just want to have everyone there, all the kids there, And so he's like, okay, all right. However, we have these text messages between Donna and Charlie that's talking about working on Dad's birthday present.
So slide 137, we see 2 chats between Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson, where Charlie indicates he's, okay, have fun, still working on Dad's B-Day present. And Donna Adelson responds, I know it's a tough B-Day being 70 and all, but I know you'll come through.
Okay, and this still working on Dad's B-Day present would be the day after the killers arrived back in Miami without having killed Dan Markel.
Correct.
So they're working on the birthday present because the hit on Dan Markel failed. So now they're probably scrambling to figure out, okay, what can we do to make it work the next time? Again, this is the day after the hitmen returned from the first attempt of trying to kill Dan Markel. This is like June 2nd.
Okay, and this birthday present was mentioned back in March. Would that be about 4 months before Harvey Adelson's birthday?
Yes.
All right, going forward to July 3rd. Was there an evite to Harvey Adelson's birthday sent to Wendy Adelson that day?
Yes, a reminder email that was sent on July 3rd.
Okay, and when is the party?
So as we see, kind of focusing in here on the details of this email, the party, a friendly reminder that Donna's event is coming up on Saturday, July 5th, 2014 at 7:30.
Do you guys notice anything odd about this invite? Anything odd at all? A very friendly reminder, ... Harvey's big birthday hosted by Donna. Hi, Wendy. B and L, those are the names of the children. Adelson. This is a friendly reminder that Donna's event is coming up on Saturday, July 5th at 7:30. Keep in mind that their last names were not Adelson during this time. It was Markel. Markel was still alive. It's almost as if they already knew that they're going to kill Dan Markel, and they've already plotted to change the last names of Wendy's children to Adelson.
3 p.m.
Okay. Was it addressed to Wendy, and we blurred out their names, but her 2 sons, and listed Wendy and her 2 sons' last name as Adelson?
Yes,
Was Dan Markel still alive on July 5th of 2014?
he was.
And what last name,
These people just couldn't help themselves.
and Adelson, though, is listed as the boy's last name here when this is sent?
And I'm sorry,
Sorry, Adelson is listed as the boy's last name, though, regardless of the fact that Dan Markel is still alive on this date?
that's correct.
This last name change was planned, and they were already attempting to do this. All right, next we got Wendy sends Dan a text message. So Wendy leaves more digital trail. So, as we are sitting here for Donna Adelson's trial, and while I am very interested to see all the evidence piling up against Donna, I'm also very interested to see what the state has on Wendy Adelson, whether or not she was truly not involved and that her family orchestrated everything because they wanted to take care of her and they kept her out in the dark, or was she a lot more involved than people originally thought?
Okay, what message was found in the cell bright of Wendy Adelson's cell phone on July 6th?
So this is slide 142. There is a text message from Wendy Adelson to Dan Markel asking if he is in Tallahassee for the dates of July 14th through the 18th.
And she says she wants to know because she wants to know if she can have the kids on the 16th.
Correct.
And he
Now, just a refresher on the dates. July 6, 2014, Wendy sends a text message to Dan Markel. This is about less than 10 days before he gets murdered. Or actually, no, this is about more than 10 days before he gets murdered. So like a little bit less than 2 weeks. She texts him, "Are you in Tallahassee July 14 through 18? I just want to know if I can have the kiddos on the 16th. Thanks." Dan replies back, "Yes, you can." Now, if you look at the dates, July 14 to July 18. July 15 is apparently when the hitmen rented the rental car. July 18 is when they actually tried to kill Dan Markel. It's almost as if Wendy's making sure that Dan Markel is going to be in the Tallahassee area. Later on, they're going to mention something about how it was kind of weird that Wendy sends this text message because it was already assumed that she was going to have the boys apparently on Wednesday or something like that.
Was there already a schedule in place as to who would have the kids during those dates that Wendy Adelson asked Dan Markel about?
Yes, there was. So this is an email from Wendy Adelson's Gmail account referencing the schedule for the children for this particular time. And we can see in the email that Mr. Markel is listed to have the children the 11th through the 17th.
And the date she was asking about is the 16th?
Correct.
And in the top of that email, does it say that she gets the kids every Wednesday anyway?
That she has the children every Wednesday anyway?
Yeah, on the last sentence, I imagine you'll have the chance to have them on Wednesday nights during the weeks in May, June, and July?
Yes, that she would imagine to have the chance.
Okay. So what she was asking about seems to already be established in this schedule that was already established in January, 7 months earlier?
Correct.
So it seemed kind of redundant for Wendy to make sure to send this email or this text message out to Dan because, well, she was already going to get the boys on Wednesday anyways.
All right, so where was Wendy Adelson when she...
All right, now, what do we have with Wendy? Here is a map. Let's see. Oh, gosh. More Wendy stuff.
The residence of Harvey and Donna Adelson at the time?
That's correct.
And this would be the day after the birthday party?
Yes.
All right, what did Wendy Adelson do after sending that message?
So this is slide 146. There is a calendar entry which created an event for July 7th of 2014, which indicates cancel cable and get Apple ID and Netflix instead.
So again, days before Dan Markel was murdered, she's already canceling cable. Why would you cancel cable? Why would you cancel cable to your house? So I don't know if cable is used synonymously like everywhere throughout the world, but cable is like, like your live TV. A lot of people don't really have cable anymore. We mostly just have streaming services. But, it's almost as if that Wendy knew Dan Markel was going to get murdered. That's why she's like canceling cable for her house because she's already going to plan to move to Miami. She puts this in the calendar. She puts it in the calendar, but just pin it for a moment there because something's going to happen to this cancel cable in her calendar.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. No, it was something else that she deletes. Okay, just kidding.
Obviously, this is something a lot of people do, right? Cancel cable and end up getting streaming services?
Yes.
All right, but you can stream from anywhere, right? Is that one of the perks of having streaming over cable?
It would be one of the perks, yes.
Cable is typically, especially back in 2014, was maybe confined to a more fixed spot like a home.
Correct.
And this was on July 7th then. So was Wendy Adelson still living at the Off-Road Ridge Drive in Tallahassee at that time?
Yes.
But by the following month, she had relocated to Miami and was no longer in that home.
Oh, that's correct.
Yep. If you're getting ready for a move, you start canceling cable. Start canceling the internet services.
Kind of go along with these. So we see that there is a phone call from Mr. Adelson at 8:53 p.m. and then we find a text message chat that says, just tried calling you at 8:56.
And do they appear to meet?
So this is around the time frame of the second murder attempt.
As far as their phone locations are concerned?
Yes. So this continues on.
Which is a month after the first murder attempt.
Ms. Bagbanowa basically indicates for Mr. Adelson to come down to her location. She lived south of him in South Florida. He responds or updates with an ETA of 5 men.
Oh, just kidding. Sorry, we're at a different spot. So after the cancel cable calendar event, Donna sends an email to Wendy about the TV repair. Again, TV repair was seen to be used as code word for Dan Markel's murder. That is the state's theory. At this point, there's going to be a map of, okay, so we're around the time of the second attempted murder. And during this time, Charlie is going to go meet with Katie's home. And so they're going to have like a map of that.
And then he again updates his location as he's getting closer. We see here on slide 153 at 9:27 p.m., Mr. Adelson has an event with a cell site consistent with Bagbanowa's residence.
And after leaving the area of Bagbanowa's residence that night, does Bagbanowa contact Garcia?
She does, yes.
Yep. So Charlie and Katie, they call each other. Charlie meets at Katie's home, and then Katie reaches out to the hitman. After this, Garcia, which is the baby daddy hitman, calls the rental car, and Katie and Charlie, they're having calls with each other. And then Charlie ends up calling the Adelson family. So you can see the connector between how the sequence of the hitman, Katie again, Charlie, and then the Adelson family. At this point, the hitmen are going to be on their way to Tallahassee from Miami. They're going to have another map showing that the hitman is going to be near Dan Markel. Oh, I forgot to mention this during the attempted first murder. During that time, it was mentioned that when they rented the car, or sorry, it was Garcia that rented the car. They think Rivera was not there with Garcia at the time when the car rental happened. You know what happens after he? You know what happened after he rented the car to kill someone? He gets a fucking citation. Like, I think within 2 hours or something like that. So not only did you rent the car to kill someone, but now there's probably like police body cam or a citation linking you to you actually driving that car. Because later on, you know, if you ever get caught, you can say like, well, someone must have rented the car under my name. I don't know. Maybe they stole my ID. Maybe they have my information. But no, there's a citation that he got. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a body cam footage of him somewhere where he gets pulled over. Now, I don't know if it was citation, like police gave him a citation, or maybe it was like a red light citation. I don't know. But it's just like so dumb. It's like you're not even being careful. It seems like you're just being so careless. This is the same guy, by the way, that discharged the weapon in the rental car. They also talk about how this first rental car seemed to have been similar to Jeff Lacasse's car, because that's Jeff's theory that he thinks Wendy was trying to frame him for Dan Markel's murder. And then there was some discussion between the state and the witness about how when people, I guess, like people tend to think that cell phones are more likely to be wiretapped than landlines, which I don't know. Cause like, you know, I've watched all the mobster movies, like they be tapping that landline too. But anyways, the state thinks that before Charlie barely called the family's landline number. However, when they were trying to orchestrate this murder thing, Charlie was calling the landline number more because maybe he thought that that was less likely to be tapped. I don't know. All right, where are we at?
Okay, so what do we see here?
So this would be after Mr. Adelson was in the area of her residence. We see events after midnight, 12:42 a.m. and 1 a.m. that would be consistent with him leaving that area and potentially returning to his home.
All right. Next thing, more Wendy stuff. What does Wendy do?
Communications between our primary subjects. Wendy had the calendar event that for 8 a.m. for fixed TV.
And I want to ask you about that. Did she often have calendar events in her phone?
She did, yes.
And she would often delete those events?
Correct.
All right. When was this calendar event deleted?
I do not know.
Okay. Was it when she was with law enforcement the afternoon of July 18th? Did they take her phone and run a Cellbrite report on it?
Yes. So this extraction occurred on the late evening hours of July 18th.
Okay. And in the Cellbrite, it would have shown that the calendar event was deleted. Is that right?
Correct.
So would she have had to have deleted it before her cell phone was Cellbrighted that evening?
Yes.
Okay. So sometime between 8 a.m. when the event is on her phone and that evening it was deleted.
It could have been deleted before that date.
Why delete it, Wendy? Why delete it? So we don't know when she deleted it. I wonder if, I don't know if there's going to like be another expert that can go into all the stuff, because can't they? I guess, but it was so long ago, and I don't think they have. No, that it was so long ago. I don't know how Cellbrite was back then, because like now we know with the Cellbrite, you can show when things were deleted.
Okay,
but this is like 2014 Cellbrite, so that was like 11 years ago.
All right. So first call to Donna Adelson and Wendy Adelson. Can you show that to us?
Yes. So again, we see at 8:09 a.m. there's a call from Wendy to Donna.
Okay, let me ask you one thing from the night before. Was it unusual for Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson to communicate or attempt to communicate at 1 a.m. that late?
They're communicate over a pretty broad range of time. I think it was pretty clear that event was...
Wendy seems to be the one on trial. Yesterday was very heavily focused on Wendy. I think the state wants to make sure that the jury knows that there was a very strong link that Wendy was involved, and that her family was involved, the hitman was involved. So I think they're just making sure that all the links between everyone are just like strengthened. Because if they only focus on Donna and then like leave Wendy out, I mean, Wendy's a major proponent on this. So I think if they're tying in Wendy, they're also tying in Donna as well. But, you know, again, there's going to be more evidence tying Donna, I'm sure, later on down the road.
Was a misdial that he immediately corrected and called Miss Magbanawa. That's why there was no duration to it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so moving on to that morning, we saw the calendar event, and then does Donna place the first call that morning between the co-conspirators to Wendy?
Wendy calls Donna. Let's back up. So, yes, Wendy actually calls Donna at 8:09.
Okay. And what's next?
Donna attempts back at about the same time frame. Little phone tag, maybe. And then we see a text message from Donna to Wendy, again, about the Best Buy service.
And she says, they're on their way over now to help with the TV sets in your living room.
Again, it could sound like the hitmen are on their way right now to help you with your issue with Dan Markel. Oh man, they thought they were being so slick.
Correct.
Why even text? I don't know. Why even? Oh gosh, they were just doing too much. They were trying to do like the TV shit, man. They were doing way too fucking much. Less communications, less digital trails. Come on, y'all.
All right. What's
This whole code word shit is just so cheesy.
next?
Wendy has a text to Charlie stating, "This is so sweet."
That's Wendy's text, y'all. This is so sweet. And this is a text message that Wendy deleted before the cell phone was given to law enforcement. Why would you delete this, Wendy? If there's nothing weird, nothing shady with a TV repair from Best Buy, why delete this? Why delete your excitement of your TV getting repaired, aka your... Why not just call? Exactly. I don't know. Because at this point, it's not like law enforcement had any... It's not like law enforcement would have wiretapped their phones during this time. There's nothing suspicious happening with Adelson family in terms of like suspicious to other people, unless he thinks that Catherine McBanwell could have like been setting him up possibly, and they're just being really careful. But still, it's all text messages. Bad.
And that was deleted?
Correct.
And would that have had to have been deleted then before?
I mean, and didn't they have WhatsApp back then? Use WhatsApp. Call people on WhatsApp.
To celebrate that afternoon, sometime between when it was received at 8:20 and to celebrate that afternoon?
Correct.
All right. What's next?
Wendy receives a voicemail from Dan Markel.
Okay. And do you have that voicemail where you could play it for us?
I believe so.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's 9 o'clock on Friday. Just wanted to say I'm hoping to pick the boys up for you this afternoon and get in shape. And then have it ready for you around 4:30 or 5. You can pick it up from either at the show or at the house. So let me know if that's okay with you. And also, I'd love to chat to you about that situation for school. And so there's that and all that. I'm going to see you at the gym.
It's Dan Markel's father, dude. To listen to your son's voice.
9:15 and
Joe
10:30.
Shed.
But happy to chat. For a walk in school, but that's okay. Bye.
What time was
It was kind of hard to listen to the voice message. I'll read it to you guys. Dan leaves a voicemail for Wendy. Hey, Wendy, it's Danny. Good morning. It's 9 on Friday. Just wanted to let you know I was hoping to pick up the boys early this afternoon and take them swimming. And then have them ready for you around 4:30 or 5 if you can pick them up from me, either at Truesdale or at Trescott maybe? Oh, Truesdale or at the house. So let me know if that is okay with you. And also, I'd love to chat with you about Ben's situation for school and birthday stuff and all that. I'm going to be at the gym probably... cuts off. Damn it! And I think he says 9 o'clock and 10:30. But I'm happy to chat or meet with you. Maybe we can go for maybe lunch. Is that what he says? I think at the end. So at this point,
9 seconds.
Wendy's getting a heads up about Dan Markel's schedule. That he's going to be at the gym from a certain time frame. And she is going to call Charlie. She's going to call Charlie. And it's going to be an 18-minute call. Now, she testified yesterday saying that, oh, well, I was just calling because I wanted to ask about the TV repair. I wanted to know what the delta was, if it was worth repairing the TV versus just buying a new one. 18 minutes? Really?
After that.
So Charlie calls Wendy, or attempts to call Wendy at 9:12.
And that's 29 seconds?
Correct.
Okay. What's next?
Wendy texts Dan Markel, saying the repairman at my house now. I am picking up the boys at 3 p.m. So your swim idea is a no-go today.
So do we know exactly what time she listened to that? Was it 9:04?
9:04 was the voicemail.
Do we know exactly what time she listened to that 9:04 voicemail?
We do not.
But it seems she would have listened to it before this text at 9:12.
She does seem to acknowledge the content of the voicemail in this text message reply.
So she heard it sometime between 9:04 and 9:12.
Correct.
Okay.
All my siblings would tell me, bro, just get a new TV. I think they purchased a Geek Squad plan during this time. However, because the TV repair was not repairing something that was a TV technical thing, it seems like it was broken because someone threw a remote or something like that and fucking broke it or punched their hand through it. So I don't know if that would even be covered under the Geek Squad warranty anyways, but I don't know if maybe they purchased the accidental plan. It's possible they could have purchased the accidental plan, and the accidental plan could have also encompassed if you accidentally punched your TV or threw something at it.
Now, in that message, he mentions he's going to the gym, right? At 9:15. But from the surveillance videos that we have, by the time he got to the gym at 9:15, were the killers already tailing him?
Appear to be so, yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with Luis Rivera's statement that they had been tailing him all morning? They followed him from his house to the preschool that morning.
Correct.
All right, so can you walk us through these messages starting at 9:12 a.m. that Wendy Adelson has with Dan Markel?
Yes. So, again, she indicated that the swim idea was a no-go. Mr. Markel responds about his day ending at 4:30.
Meaning that he gets to keep the boys under the schedule until 4:30.
Correct.
Okay.
As again, in this message, he says, under our schedule. And he continues, and you had them until 5 last week. And this is at 9:13 a.m.
Okay.
Wendy Adelson responds, because you needed to food shop. This is at 9:15. Mr. Markel replies, you weren't making them available until 5.
And at this point, he's already in the Premier parking lot around that time.
Would be correct, yes.
Okay.
Wendy responds, if it was 4:30 last Friday, you should have told me that. Why tell me now? This is at 9:19 and also at 9.
So Wendy's going back and forth with Dan Markel. She's combating Dan Markel's idea of taking the boys to swim and then dropping the boys off at Wendy's afterwards. So she's like going back and forth with him. However, after she has a phone call with Charlie Adelson, this is the 18-minute call that I was mentioning, something changed.
9:19, Wendy receives a call from Charlie. It'll last a little over 18 minutes.
Okay. So at the point where Dan Markel's already at the gym at 9:19, right?
Yes.
And the killers have already followed him to the gym at that point, right?
Correct.
This is per surveillance footage from Premier.
Correct.
At this point, Wendy and Charlie have an 18 and 17 second phone conversation.
An 18-minute and 17-second, yes.
Okay. What happens next after this phone conversation?
So after the phone call started, Wendy would have received the incoming text because I was being nice. And then about the time that phone call would have ended, Wendy texts Dan back.
And does she say, nice was fun while it lasted. See you at 4:30 today at my house then?
Correct.
So after this 18-minute phone call with Charlie Adelson.
So she concedes after talking to Charlie for some reason. It's almost as if she knew something was going to happen to Dan Markel anyways, and it didn't matter that she had to argue with him back and forth about what time the boys were going to be dropped off.
Does she seemingly change her stance in the argument? She kind of concedes the argument and agrees with what Dan Markel is asking. He can keep the boys until 4:30.
Correct.
And then within about an hour of this message was Dan Markel killed.
He was shot, yes.
Shot.
Wonder what Wendy and Charlie were talking about.
Thank you.
So the hitman, they follow Dan Markel. They're going to have like surveillance footage. They turned off their cell phone after leaving the gym, I think, before they were planning on murdering Dan Markel at his house, which is kind of like, you're like really half-assing it. If you want to really turn off your cell phone throughout the entirety of the trip that you took from Miami to Tallahassee. It's like you're following this guy from his house to the preschool, to the gym, and now you decide to turn off your phone. Okay. So they turn off their cell phone, they leave, and that's when they kill Dan Markel. At some point, the hitman tries to call Katie. Katie doesn't pick up. And then we're going to get into Wendy's drive route that morning after Dan Markel was murdered and why Wendy ended up at Dan Markel's crime scene house. Maybe this one?
All right, so moving on to that morning, we saw the calendar event. And then does Donna place the first call that morning between the co-conspirators to Wendy?
Wendy calls Donna. Let's back up. So.
Oh, oops. I think is it this one? Is it this one? Maybe this one? I think it's this one.
Her cell site is listed as the purple dot. And starts at 12:31. We can see this is slide 232. as we come down to about the
So Aqua Ridge Way is where Wendy lives. Wendy had a lunch date somewhere. Can y'all see my mouse? There you go. Aqua Ridge Way. This is where Wendy lives. Wendy had a lunch date somewhere over here. However, instead of going west to her brunch date, she decides to go south. And guess who lives down south? Oh, Dan Markel. But Wendy was saying that, oh, she was trying to go to this ABC liquor store. However, if you want to go to the ABC liquor store, you can just keep going all the way down. But no, she's like, oh, well, I decided to take a shortcut through Trescott where my ex lives to go to the ABC liquor store. And then you know what she did afterwards? She drove her ass all the way up here to where the brunch date was. Ma'am, why? I mean, I'm glad you did it because it makes you look even more guilty. But, ma'am, ay, ay, ay.
middle here, she has an event at 12, or communication during this phone call with a cell site at 12:35, and then that call ends at 12:47. So we see again that will be consistent with her leaving the area of her residence sometime around the 12:31 time frame, and being in the area of in this 12:47 cell site.
Keep in mind when she was interviewing the police the first time. That was the only time she interviewed with the police. The police didn't catch that her taking this route would have been completely out of the way. I wish they did. I wish they did. They were sitting with her for 6 hours, man. I wish they did. I wish they were like, actually, why did you decide to go through this way when your brunch is here and there's a liquor store there? Why? Man. Because now she's had time to think about it and answer.
It could be the ABC Liquors as well. We know the receipt time's just a couple of minutes later. So with that, and to slide 233, with that receipt being at 12:49, the voice call ending at 12:47, she would have passed by Mr. Markel's residence just prior to that.
Okay, meaning maybe somewhere around 12:35 to 12:45.
Correct.
Did Dan Markel have he and Wendy Adelson's children the morning of July 18th?
I'm sorry?
Did Dan Markel have the children the morning of July 18th and he took them to school that morning?
He did, yes.
Okay. Looking at Wendy Adelson's call detail records, were you able to see her calls, who they were from and to, and the times on July 18th of 2014?
Yes. So slide 234, a summary of her calls that morning. And we can see in the highlighted sections here calls that would have been made or received after the time that she would have passed by the Markel residence.
When she encountered that roadblock, the crime scene tape with the police cars behind it in front of the Markel residence, did she attempt to call Dan Markel to make sure he or the kids were okay?
She did not.
Did she attempt to call
Kinda weird.
the children's daycare, creative preschool, to make sure that they made it to school and there wasn't some type of incident?
She did not.
Did she attempt to call 911 or law enforcement to see what was going on since her children had been staying on that street?
She did not.
Did she just continue to the liquor store and then on to lunch?
Correct.
Are you
Now, we had a testimony from law enforcement who was actually at the roadblock, and he said where he was at the roadblock, you would be able to see all the police marked vehicles at Dan Markel's house, like within that area. And so he actually did see Wendy's van pull up to where he was, and instead of kind of slowing down and then checking out to see what was going on, she came in really quickly, made a 3-point turn, and got the fuck out of there. In comparison to other people that pulled up, they were pulling up to the roadblock. They're like, oh shit, fuck, the road is blocked. What do I do now? Oh, I guess I make a U-turn. Oh, I wonder what's going on over there. It's like you're processing it, you're kind of hesitating a little bit, and then you get out of there. But Wendy, it's almost as if she already knew what was ahead and she wanted to quickly get out of there. And also, she would have seen all the law enforcement there. She knows that her husband lives there. She knows that the husband had the kids during that time. How would you not call the kids or the ex-husband? And you know what her excuse was when she testified on the stand yesterday? She said, oh, well, I was actually on the phone with someone. So what? Any parent would be like, fuck this phone call. I'm going to call to see if my children are okay, if the ex-husband, I mean, even if you hated him, is okay. But Wendy, no, she doesn't do any of that. Wendy she just hightails it out of there.
Are you familiar with the area of Thomasville Road and I-10 where the restaurant Mosaic used to be, which was the restaurant she went to lunch at that day?
I am.
Listen, y'all, here's a PSA. It's hard to crime, okay? You might think criming is easy, but it's hard, all right? It's hard to crime. There's a lot of things you have to think about, and there's a lot of things that can be used against you. And there's a lot of things that you might think, like, for example, she probably got to the scene. She was like, oh, I should get the hell out of here before law enforcement recognizes me. But then she's not thinking about, okay, well, let's say if law enforcement did recognize me, what will be my excuse for being here? And how can I counteract that? Oh, maybe I can counteract it by pretending to be like, oh, well, what's going on here? Let me call Dan. Let me call the kids to see if they're okay. There's just a lot of like thinking that you have to do, and criming is hard. Don't be criming. Hi, Midnight Grave. How are you doing today?
Were there any liquor stores in that area back in July 2014?
There were, yes.
Okay, can you walk? Thank you.
So what we see, slide 237, again, we are showing the residence, her residence at the time on Aqua Ridge, and her ultimate destination, which was Mosaic off of Thomasville Road. So clearly the next slide here shows, as calculated by the mapping software, the most direct route between those two locations as far as where she was heading.
And then were there any liquor stores in the area of Mosaic at that time?
There were. So
here's a more direct route from her house here, to Mosaic, which closed down, by the way, rip Mosaic. But on her way there, she could have gone to any other place that sells liquor. Florida is one of those awesome states, just like California, where if you want to buy liquor, you can just buy liquor at grocery stores and other places, CVS. It doesn't have to be at the state liquor store. Because I used to live in a different state where if you want to buy liquor, you had to go to the ABC liquor store. However, if you're like in other states, you can get it at CVS, you can get it at grocery stores, blah, 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 blah. But yeah.
at that time, there was Publix Liquors on Thomasville Road there, very close to Mosaic. There was Market Square Liquors off Thomasville, and also another ABC location a little further north on Thomasville Road.
Would those Publix and Market Square Liquors be a lot closer to Aqua Ridge and Mosaic than the one she ultimately went to?
They would, and this is slide 242, which shows the route she ended up taking versus what is calculated as the most efficient route. We can see there's a difference of about...
The video that I posted yesterday where the officer was testifying about being at the roadblock, I also put up the map there showing that Wendy took a really convoluted route to go to get liquor instead of a direct route. Wendy should have made another excuse for going down there, but of course she doesn't make any stops on the way. But man, she should have went to like a Walmart or something, or maybe like a store down there that's only down there and not anywhere else. Like maybe buying a birthday gift at a boutique that's only near the Dan Markel house. But no, Wendy was just nosy. Wendy wanted to see if Dan Markel was shot or not. Wendy wanted to see it for herself. I don't know. Wendy, why did you go down there? Why? Utah's that way too. I mean, honestly, I'm not quite much of a drinker anymore. I guess it's good to restrict people buying liquor and alcohol and stuff and make it harder for them. I mean, I'm not much of a drinker anymore. But man, when I was like in my 20s, I was like, I love this state. Like Florida, you know, California, you could buy your liquor, you can buy your alcohol wherever you want. You can go to the grocery store, you can go to CVS, Walmart. I loved it when I was younger. Now I don't drink so much, I don't really care.
9 minutes longer to go the other way.
So she went 9 minutes out of the way to go.
She was told to get bullet bourbon nitros. Bullet bourbon. I used to drink bullet bourbon, okay? It ain't nothing special. It's great. It's great bourbon, but it's not anything special in terms of you can get it anywhere. It wasn't like she was getting a, I don't know, like Hibiki 12, Yamazaki 18 or something, that this liquor store was the only one in the area they had it. She went to get a bullet bourbon, which you can get at any liquor store. But maybe Wendy's going to be like, oh, I actually called Publix, and Publix said that they were out of bullet bourbon.
Go to the ABC Liquors next to Dan Markel's home.
Correct.
Oops, sorry.
As the most efficient route, we can see there's a difference of about 9 minutes longer to go the other way.
So she went 9 minutes out of the way to go to the ABC Liquors next to Dan Markel's home.
Correct.
Dan Markel has already been shot, so what's next? Donna has to give the money to Charlie. Katie also has to go to Charlie's house because she needs to pick up the cash from him.
They did 8:22 p.m. She texts, you're still at work? Charlie Adelson responds, just finishing. I'm not really feeling good. Maybe we can just hang at my house.
Are you familiar with Catherine McBanwith's statement that Charlie Adelson told her that his parents had just been at her home the night of Dan Markel's murder before she arrived at the home?
Her home or his home?
His home. Charlie Adelson's home.
Yes.
Charlie Adelson's parents had just been at Charlie Adelson's home before McDaniel arrived that night.
Correct.
What's interesting about this is that Donna is going to deny going to Charlie's house, I guess, to drop off the money. She's going to say that it's Charlie's money. Charlie has a safe full of cash. However, this law enforcement officer is going to look into the route that Donna takes when she's on the way to drive up from South Florida to Tallahassee, where Wendy lives. Donna's going to stop by Charlie's house. And there's even a text message to show that. But Donna's going to continue to deny it. And you'll see in questioning by the defense team soon.
Is there evidence in the phone records that Donna Adelson went to Charlie Adelson's home on the night of Dan Markel's murder?
So there is another communication from Miss Donna Adelson at 8:59 p.m. stating outside your house.
Outside your house, and she's sending that message to Charlie Adelson, is that right?
Correct.
What can you tell us about her locations that night and how long she could have spent at Charlie's residence after sending this message?
Your Honor, Jack calls for speculation.
Overruled, he may answer based on his analysis of the records. However, Sergeant, you are not to speculate or offer any opinions beyond anything that you have not directly researched for these matters. You may answer the question.
Yes, sir. So the question asked of me is, it possible for, given the cell site locations and times, is it possible there was a period of time where Donna and Harvey could have stopped at Charlie Adelson's residence? So to do this analysis, I looked at the events that we had with usable locations, and we see that there is this 6-minute phone call, and this is the 8:35 location we saw in the previous slide, but we see this phone call actually begins on the cell site in the bottom of this slide, which should be 263, and it ends on the cell site at the top. So to conduct an analysis of potential time between points, we need to establish a point to start measuring from. So my estimation of the approximate handset's location between these two cell sites for this phone call is approximately the area of that 832 little call out here in the middle. So that is the point that I started, again, with based on these two phone calls, or the beginning and ending cell sites, estimated that the handset was approximately in the area of that marker at 832. Same thing for the ending phone call, or the next phone call that we had at 10:53. We see the cell site that it begins on and the cell site that it ends on a little further north. And so that will be consistent again with the handset continuing to travel along the area of the turnpike. And for our ending time here, I again estimated the location of the handset to be where that white call out box is at approximately 10:53 p.m. So with those 2 points, and using the Esri route planning tool, Esri is the mapping software that we use, it tells us that that travel should have taken approximately about an hour and 4 minutes. And what we see is between 8:32 and 10:53 is actually 2 hours and 21 minutes. So the distance traveled is not consistent with the time consumed. We have the message at 8:59 that says outside your house. Charlie responds to that about 20 minutes later with 10 men, 10 minutes. So again,
How do you think Donna's going to explain this to Charlie? Or not Charlie, to the jury?
using the same route planning, we see that that should have taken approximately 25 minutes to travel from our 8:32 starting point to Charlie Adelson's residence. And so that would have put the estimated time of arrival at his residence 8:57, and the text message is sent at 8:59. So that would be pretty consistent.
So the text message time is consistent with the estimated time it would take to get from the last known location to his house.
Correct.
And in that text message, she says, outside your house to him.
Correct.
And then he gives her an estimated amount of time before he'll be at his house, 10 men.
Correct. And what we see looking at Charlie Adelson's locations, the 9:19, when the text message is sent, we can see the cell site that his handset is using. As we continue down slide 268, we can see that he has communication at 9:21, and then the next cell site he has is, or cell site time he has is 9:40, and that 9:40 time he has become consistent with the area of his residence. So he reaches his residence sometime between 9:21 and 9:40. If we look at the 9:19 time of the text message, that 10 minutes is about correct for when he would arrive home.
So he says he's 10 minutes when he's about 10 minutes away en route to his house.
Correct.
After receiving the outside your house text. Is that right?
Correct.
And what do we see here?
This is just a close-up of that, again showing the cell sites when he would be consistent with his residence, arriving sometime before 9:40.
And where was Donna Adelson's next event with actual location data after she said she was outside Charlie Adelson's house and he responded 10 men?
Again, the next event that we have is the 10:53 events, looking at their combined records, is the next usable location event that we have. So if we look at the time that it would take to travel from Charlie Adelson's residence to that point, we see that based on the route planning, approximately 48 minutes. And again, the actual travel time based on those cell site usages was 1 hour and 54 minutes. So we have about an hour of unaccounted for time.
So it took her an hour and 54 minutes to travel to the 1053 location from North Miami, which left 1 hour and 6 minutes unaccounted for.
This would be the travel time from Charlie Adelson's residence to that 1053 point. Did take an hour and 54 minutes, which was estimated to only take 48.
So how long could she and Charlie Adelson then have overlapped at his house during that time?
The maximum would be approximately an hour and 6 minutes.
And that would be including
Donna is like smiling a little bit over there. She's looking at the jury. I wonder if she's seeing if the jury is absorbing this, if they're nodding off, they're taking furious notes.
the time that she would have been waiting for him to arrive?
It would, yes.
Okay. So let's say she waited 10 minutes or so for him to arrive. Actually, he sent it 20 minutes after he received the text, right?
Correct. Charlie's response to Donna was about 20 minutes after she had texted outside your residence, and that indicates a 10-minute estimated time of arrival. So about 30 minutes would be probably the shortest that she would have waited, but you still have a little over a half hour of overlap.
Okay, thank you. So total amount of time, 1 hour, 6 minutes, and they could have spent about 30 minutes or so together during that time at his residence.
Could have.
So Donna and Harvey's route should have taken about 1 hour, but it ends up taking 2 hours. There's about a whole hour that's unaccounted for. And they think it's because Donna was waiting at Charlie's house, waiting for Charlie to arrive. And then that's when she went over to his house and gave him the cash that she literally washed. Oh, and Harvey was there too. So apparently he does the same exact drive. However, he does it in 2015. This drive would have happened in 2014.
What else do you know about Donna Adelson's travels that evening?
So we have an additional chat later on.
Does he check back in with her to see if she got there okay?
Yes. At 11:56, Charlie texts, "Did you get to your hotel? Okay, love you." She responds, "Thank you for asking. We have it on MapQuest. Hilton Inn on International Drive. We should arrive at 1:25 a.m. Get some rest. We'll talk in the morning." So again, looking at the points of the 1053 estimated location to the location she states she's going to, we see that should have taken about 2 hours and 20 minutes, and which would have made the arrival time around 1:13. Her stated arrival, estimated arrival was 1:25. So again, these are pretty close.
So no large amount of time unaccounted for during that journey.
That's correct.
The large amount of time that you have unaccounted for where she says she's outside Charlie Adelson's house is from the 8:35 spot to the 10:53 spot.
Correct.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to do this drive that Donna Adelson took from North Miami to the 1053 location on the night of July 18th?
I did, yes.
And when did you do that drive?
I did that July 18th of this year.
And was that on a Friday night this year, just as her drive was on a Friday night in 2014?
Yes.
And on the same date, July 18th?
Correct.
Can you tell us about that drive?
I simply traveled to that area, to the area of that first estimated location at 8:32. I started an exit south of that so that I was at traveling speed, and I traveled to Charlie Adelson's residence. I noted the time and mileage that it took me to get there, and then I traveled from Charlie Adelson's residence to the 1053 spot just to make sure that the roadways, all of those which have not changed, allowed for me to get off the turnpike, get back on, continue travel, and about how long it took me to do it.
Were you able to easily get off the exit for Charlie Adelson's house and then get back on again?
Yes.
And was the time it took to drive from Donna Adelson's 832 location in North Miami to Charlie Adelson's residence consistent with the estimated time?
It was. I was within just a few minutes.
Ms. Kappelman just reminded me, you said it was on the same day. Did you also do it at the same time of day?
I did, yes.
Okay, so Friday evening around between 8:30 and 11.
Yes, within just a couple of minutes of 8:32. It was a little hard to gauge my travel time to get to that exact point. Might have been off a minute or two when I crossed that specific point, but it was very, very close to the exact time of day.
And was the time it took to drive from Charlie Adelson's residence to her 1053 location consistent with the estimated time on Esri?
It was, yes.
So Katie spends the night, and this is when Charlie gives her a Xanax so she can relax. I think he takes ones as well. The next morning, she takes the money and she tries to communicate with her baby daddy to drop off the money. She was unable to communicate with her baby daddy. So who did she call? The other hitman. But didn't Katie say that she testified? Didn't Katie say in her testimony that she didn't know Rivera was going to be involved in this?
We see that Ms. Bagbanwa communicates with Mr. Rivera a couple of times. She does, again, try to get hold of Mr. Garcia, but all of that concludes at about 10:30 in the morning.
We're going to jump over to after the lunch break, where cross-examination is going to start by Mr. Zauman. The defense is going to try to say that, how do you know that Donna was the one that sent that Evite, where it had Wendy Adelson's name, and in her 2 children, instead of being the last name Markel, it was Adelson?
You testified this morning that this was sent out. Now, Evite is an online platform where anyone can go in and create an event and send out invitations, correct?
That's correct.
back
I wonder what they're going to try to say about the emails. So Wendy gets an email. Basically, it's a reminder that Harvey's birthday is coming up, and Donna has Wendy's name changed to Adelson and the boys as well. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if Wendy had already had her last name changed to Adelson at this point, or she was still a Markel. But the boys for sure were still Markel.
back in 2014. Do you have any personal knowledge as to how that website operated?
In 2014, I do not.
And I believe that you indicated that there was an indication that Donna Adelson was unfamiliar with that process.
Correct.
As we sit here today, you cannot testify that Donna Adelson created that event on evite.com, can you?
I can only testify as to the email where she asked if her invitations had been sent yet, and where she describes how she entered the contacts, how she entered the invitees as contacts. That's the only thing that I can take from that email.
It seems like Donna was the one who was in charge of it then. Now, the defense, they're going to try to give excuses as to maybe why Donna took 2 hours for this specific drive route instead of 1 hour. For example, maybe there was construction. Maybe there was a crash on the highway.
Now, what were the traffic conditions on July 18th of 2014?
I do not know.
Did you do anything to try to find that out?
I did.
And what did you do?
I tried to research through Department of Transportation if they had traffic and crash data going back that far, and I did not find any.
Is that because the retention period had been exceeded?
Most likely, yes.
What is a retention period?
I do not know the exact retention period.
No, tell us what is a retention period.
I'm sorry, a retention period would be a policy of a holder of information for how long they hold that. And so carriers have retention periods for their cell phone records. It may be 1 year, and after 1 year they purge that data. It could be 2 years, could be 10 years, but that retention period or is a policy for how long they retain records.
Did you do anything to collect construction records for I-95 or the Turnpike between July 18th of 2014 and the present day?
No.
How many lanes were on 95 between my client's residence in Miami Beach and her son's residence back in 2014?
I do not know the exact number.
What about the Turnpike? How many lanes were on the Turnpike back in 2014?
Again, varies by the location where you're at, but 2 to 3 in any direction.
And what about now?
Same now. I say same now. Depending upon where we're talking about. So I'm looking at a very narrow stretch of the Turnpike. Talk about the Turnpike in its entirety. I'm sure it's undergone a lot of changes.
And Mr. Zellman is not wrong, because from 2014 to 2025, there could have been a lot of changes along that route. Let's go back to redirect.
And at no point on July 18th of 2014 can you place Donna Adelson's handset and or Harvey Adelson's handset connecting to the same cell site at the same time as Charlie Adelson's handset.
That's correct.
So from the call detail records, you cannot testify, you cannot tell this jury that my client was at her son's house.
That's correct.
Nothing further.
Yes, sir. Did the text messages place Donna Adelson at Charlie Adelson's house?
I believe the outside your house text message is indicative of her being outside his house.
Okay, that's what Donna Adelson tells us in that text message, right?
I believe so, yes.
And then she has 1 hour and 6 minutes, was it, of unaccounted for time on the stretch of the drive that's on the same stretch of the drive where Charlie Adelson's house is, right?
Correct.
And did you do this drive in 2025 because the defense questioned the fact that you hadn't done it, didn't know if you could do it in the 2025?
Oh, did I miss that? He did it on 2025? 2025? Why? Oh, gosh. That's 11 years later.
5 depot.
There was a question as to who raised it. I'm not certain.
Okay, thank you. You got lots of questions about construction on the Turnpike. Defense asked if their client could have gotten stopped for that extra hour that's unaccounted for in construction. Did Donna Adelson tell us in that text message where she stopped on the drive? Did she say she was outside of Charlie Adelson's house?
Agreed.
Okay, and then Charlie Adelson gave her his estimated time of arrival at the house for 10 minutes from then. Is that right?
Correct.
Oh, no, Donna, don't go up there and testify and try to say that on the stand, because if you say that, the jury's going to think that you're lying. They don't want, oh, God, people don't like it when they think you're a fool.
If the Adelsons were just driving really slow on that first part of the drive where they have over an hour of unaccounted for time, would they then have had to speed up to normal cruising speed for the second part of the drive where they made it from the 1053 location to Orlando with a consistent amount of time as the estimated time that we see on Esri?
Yes. The second part of that, the second half, if we'll call it, of the trip was done at close to the estimated time. So the speed and travel were close to what would be expected. The first half of that trip, it was not.
And did you say in this the emails for the Evite that Donna Adelson told Evite that she entered the invitees as contacts?
Correct.
Everyone's going to have different opinions about cross-examinations. For me, so far, direct examination has been really good. Cross-examination, however, you know how sometimes when you watch a trial and it's like you're watching like a tennis tournament where like ping pongs back and forth between the two sides. With this one, it feels like heavily direct examination, pretty good, solid evidence. And then when cross-examination comes in, you know, they're like slowly chipping away at some of the stuff, you know, here and there. But none of it felt like big jaw droppers to me, to the point where it's like, oh my God, that's a huge bombshell. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Wow, the defense really turned that around. And the evidence, initially, it looked really bad for Donna. But because the defense was able to reinterpret a different way, maybe it's not so bad for Donna after all. I just haven't really felt that way in this trial. And of course, people may have different opinions about that. So I'm just choosing to highlight what I think are interesting or what I think is interesting. But yeah, I don't know. You guys, if you guys watched the entire trial, let me know if there were some jaw-dropping moments in cross-examination that maybe I have overlooked. I'd be very interested to know. So let me know, feel free to stop by in the live streams, let me know, or just comment down below. Our next person who's going to testify is going to be the undercover FBI agent. They are going to be off camera because, they do undercover shit, okay? They don't want people to know what their face looks like. And I think they are still doing undercover stuff. Now, he's going to talk about how he went up to Donna Adelson and he's undercover. He hands her a piece of paper. It was Dan Markel's, it was like an article in regards to Dan Markel, and there was a phone number on there. We're going to jump over to the cross-examination.
When you indicated that you were playing the role of a gang member, what does that mean?
Well, a gang member is anybody that's involved in any type of organization or regarding criminal activity, involved in criminal activity.
Well, I know what a gang member is. I'm asking what were you going to do? What were you trying to portray yourself as? How was your demeanor? How were you going to act as a gang?
The reason why Jackie is cross-examining about this is because they were arguing in motion in limine where they wanted to mention Rivera's affiliation with the Latin King gang, especially him being at the top of the ladder of it. And the reason why they wanted to do that was because they wanted to be able to have Donna testified that she was scared that he was part of the Latin Kings and that the guy that approached him was a gang member. And because of that, that's why she didn't go to law enforcement. Although it's my opinion that he doesn't ever mention what affiliation gang he was in. I don't think he even talked about what gang he was in. I don't know if she even knows that Rivera was in a gang unless Charlie told her. But again, when you have time to think about it and time to build your defenses, you could just come up with these stories on the fly after the fact. So I think that's why Jackie's going to bring it up. We'll see how he testifies because right now the judge has not allowed the defense to bring up Rivera being a part of the Latin King. But, maybe the judge will change his mind depending on how this guy answers.
Gang member.
You mean during the bump?
Yes, sir.
I was actually very friendly.
For the bump that was on the street?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Adelson told you that you scared her, didn't she?
I think she was startled. I mean, I'm not good looking, so maybe that scared her. But
Were you dressed up all pretty like you are today?
No, ma'am.
How were you dressed?
Just jeans and T-shirt and open, I believe, like a bluish button-down open.
Okay. When you say you were friendly to her, was that what you said? You were friendly to her?
I was told to be very polite to her.
And were you?
I was.
Did you invite her out to lunch?
No, not exactly.
The fuck? He wasn't trying to hit on her. Come on now. He was doing the bump, not trying to bump uglies with her.
When I engaged her, to the best of my recollection, I said to her that we know that their problem up north had been taken care of, and that Katie and Tuto are being taken care of, and my brother Tato has not been taken care of. He and his family have not been taken care of, and that they should take care of him and his family, something to that effect, him and his family, like they are taking care of Katie and Tuto.
And who's Tuto?
Tuto, from what I understand, was Sigfredo Garcia.
And who was Tato?
Tato was Luis Rivera.
You have a really interesting accent.
That's because I'm fluent in Spanish. Yes.
Okay. Are you of Spanish descent, or you just have learned that?
I am.
You are? Okay.
Jackie, why are you asking these questions? Jackie trying to hit on the guy who's testifying right now. Jackie, what are you doing over there?
Thank you. You do it very well.
Thank you.
So you tell her that you know that her family is taking
Objection, relevance.
care of Tuto and Katie, but not your brother Tato.
Correct.
And Tato is Luis Rivera,
Correct.
and he was incarcerated at that time.
Correct.
And you told her that in the Broward County Jail, the two of you have been together, right?
I don't believe on the bump I said that.
Okay. And you tell her that you need $5,000 to take care of
No, Donna not amused. Donna's like, Jackie, stop thirsting. Chill out.
Tato, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And she told you she didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, during the bump, I didn't mention the 5,000 or anything. I didn't mention the money.
The piece of paper said
Well,
$5,000.
the paper did, but verbally I didn't say it to her.
You said they needed to take care of Tato,
Yes, but I didn't say the dollar amount.
but you handed her a piece of paper
I
and it
did.
had it on there, correct?
Sure.
Okay. She didn't pay you the $5,000, did she?
I don't believe they ever did.
Okay. And that was on April the 19th of 2016, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. You actually called the Adelson Institute.
Yes, I
didn't you?
did call.
Okay.
Look, yes.
So you were the first call then. You
Yes,
called
I-
the Adelson Institute.
Correct,
And
correct.
you were trying to reach Donna Adelson.
That is correct.
But she was not there.
Correct.
So you left a message saying, you're Sammy, and you
He actually doesn't sound like law enforcement right now, but when he was doing the bump operation, I was like, dude, this guy talks like he's a fucking law enforcement agent. Come on now. But as he's testifying right now, he just sounds like a normal dude.
and you haven't heard back from her and let her know I called.
That is correct.
Okay. But she doesn't call you back right then, does she?
No, she did not.
And she didn't pay you the $5,000 you were...
What? She didn't pull the Wendy and say, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear. I'm cutting off. Hang up. Remember, Georgia was trying to say that Wendy was faking having bad cell reception when the investigator called her within 48 hours of Dan Markel's murder?
We're looking for.
Or shooting, sorry. Within 48 hours of the shooting, I think.
Okay. And so call the Adel Institute and get no response. So then May the 4th of 2016, you sent a text to Donna Adelson at 2:09 in the morning, correct?
That is correct.
And on that text, you said, still have not heard from Donna. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. So you don't take me serious. You think I'm playing. You have some puta
I think puto.
call me to see if I'm for real. If you think what KD baby daddy did for you can't come back, you're, excuse my language, fucking crazy. I want the, and then it doesn't say now, or I'm going after the 100K. Right?
That's what I was told to write, yes.
Wasn't very polite there, was it?
Well, that's usually how somebody that's blackmailing somebody or extorting somebody in the criminal world would probably talk to somebody, yes.
Sure, it's more aggressive,
It's
right?
so funny how the text is so aggressive, but the guy that's testifying in the stand just sounds like a good old guy, you know, really polite. It's not like he's texting. He's like, I'm just being told to text this. Jeez, man.
Absolutely.
Because you want her to incriminate herself by talking to you, pay the $5,000. You're looking for her to talk, right?
I'm just looking for her to send the money.
Finally, on May the 6th, Donna Adelson calls you back on that number that you had put on the paper, correct?
That is correct.
And we're going to listen to the call through another witness, but the gist of it is she's telling you, you tell her you know everything about everybody involved, right?
Correct.
And she tells you, you got the wrong person, I'm not involved, correct?
She did.
And she tells you, if you know everybody who is involved, go to the police, right?
She just said, go get the money from, but she didn't say if I know everybody. She just said, I believe she said, just go collect the money.
We'll play it so we'll know the exact
Okay,
words. But
that's fine.
she didn't offer to give you the $5,000 then.
No.
And she encouraged you to go get the $100,000, which was the reward at that time for
She did.
Because she was bluffing.
providing information regarding the homicide of Dan Markel.
She did.
People were thirsting over this next witness, so I'll play a little clip it for you guys. Just for you guys. Okay, just for you, Sarah. Got you, Sarah. There's a picture of Charlie and Katie. So after the bump happened, Charlie meets up with Katie. And I think is that Dolce Vita? Maybe? Possibly? I don't remember the name of the restaurant. Oh my god, that sound is so scary. What is that sound? Is that like a freight train that's going by the courtroom? Jeez. I thought I was having an earthquake or something. I could hear it like shaking and rattling in my ears.
Publishing 140. Were you asked to clarify some recordings made at the Dolce Vita restaurant in association with this case?
Yes, I was.
What were the issues with this particular exhibit as far as being able to hear it in its raw form?
Well, it was a restaurant, and busy restaurant. There was everything from typical restaurant noises with coffee grinders and espresso machines and such as that going on. The position of the recording devices also made them pick up noises coming from the kitchen. So there was dishwasher and vegetable chopping type sounds going on back there, kids screaming, voices playing, and a television. So
Poor Mr. James. It sounds like a nightmare to sift through all that.
it's easier probably to list what wasn't on the recording than what was.
Here's another attempt of them trying to record Harvey and Charlie at a restaurant. However, it seemed like maybe they were discovered.
A man bag or a large bag that had a hidden recorder and video equipment inside of it.
And was there any sort of strategic problem with using that sort of messenger style bag under the circumstances inside this particular restaurant?
Muffled, probably?
Yeah, so when I entered the restaurant, I saw Mr. Charles Adelson and Mr. Harvey Adelson sitting at the sushi bar. There was an unoccupied stool next to Mr. Harvey Adelson, so I took a position directly next to Mr. Harvey Adelson because it was extremely loud in the restaurant. I put the bag directly on the sushi bar between myself and Mr. Harvey Adelson.
Okay. And what does it mean to get made?
Obviously, when you get made, they identify who you are and they know you're up to, maybe they identify that you're law enforcement or they know what you're doing.
And do you think that might have happened on this effort?
I think it was pretty obvious that my actions were probably a little suspicious to them, correct?
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, okay, if you're going to sit next to someone at the sushi bar, were there other seats that could have been available that's more spaced out? But honestly, I don't think it's that bad for him to put a bag between them. However, maybe there's plenty of other spaces at the bar that he could have sat at. And it was just really weird that he would choose to sit next to Harvey.
Mr. Garcia accidentally shot a hole in the floorboard of the Prius, and it actually disabled the vehicle, and Mr. Garcia had to actually...
Garcia just sounds like the greatest hitman ever. Not only did he shoot a hole through the rental-car that he was using to murder Dan Markel, he also had a citation within, 20 minutes of renting the car. Oh, God.
Fix the vehicle to get it running again.
I kind of want him to testify.
At the time that you conducted the interview of Rivera, you knew that they had rented the Prius, right?
That's correct.
Who knows if Garcia's a good repair person, because he was the one that repaired the gas line. Was his car reliable?
Color.
That's correct. Like in the door jambs and under the hood, there was some clues of that.
All right. State's Exhibit 49, were you able to confirm this was in fact the correct vehicle by the VIN number?
That's correct.
State's Exhibit 50, what does this image show?
It shows the passenger side of the vehicle. It has a directional rod put through where the bullet hole traveled. It shows the direction of travel.
So the hole was still there under the carpeting?
The hole was still there in carpet, correct.
Isn't she a cutie? Look how cute she is. I'm so happy. They have a movie promotion right now at Regal movie theaters. Look at how cute she is. She's fucking adorable. It's actually really good quality. Look at that. She's so cute. This is her little legs is cradling the bucket. I love her. Look how small her head is. I love her. This is my new daughter. Our next witness, I think we're at witness number 22, is going to be Patrick Sanford, who works with FBI. He's going to go over the audio between Charlie, Donna. It's a little bit hard to hear because Donna sounds like she's talking muffled into the phone. Rain made a joke saying that it sounds like she's talking from a coffin. This is after the murder of Dan Markel around, I think, 2016. Wendy's already dating someone new by the name of Dave, but it seems like Wendy wants to break up with Dave. Donna and Charlie are going to try to intervene to convince Wendy not to, and they're essentially just going to talk shit about her. Saying that she probably won't be able to do anyone better. And Charlie just goes on this rant about Wendy being a Victoria's Secret model and how comparing women with low mileage versus high mileage, children with baggage, just stuff like that. I guess here are some of the highlights. It's ridiculous. Actually, this is how bad the audio is. I think I'm just going to read it to you guys.
There's a limit, so there's a point at which someone purposely would do what you're asking them. Purposely do the opposite. And she couldn't screw her life because
Charlie says there's a point at which someone purposely will do what you're asking them to. They'll purposely do the opposite. Donna says, well, she's going to screw her life because there's ain't going to be another Dave. There ain't going to be another Dave. Charlie says, what's that? Donna says, there's not going to be another Dave. They are essentially comparing to Wendy getting Dave as winning the lottery, and there's no way you're going to hit the lottery twice. Charlie says this, I don't talk about her. I just say, Wendy, listen, If you put a 37-year-old Victoria's Secret model in front of me, I wouldn't want to get serious with her. Why? When I could be with a 25-year-old. I said a 25-year-old is going to be 18 in 15 years. What? I go, you want to buy a car with high mileage or low mileage? Donna says, well, Charlie goes, I go, listen, Wendy, you don't want to date a guy that's 50. You know why? Because he's too old for you and he's going to be 60 in 10 years. So maybe Wendy doesn't want to date an older guy because that's just not her thing. Does her family care? Nope. Charlie says, I can talk to Wendy differently than anyone can. But even when I do, Donna says, I know. Charles says, I don't reference as saying, Wendy, in a million years, I wouldn't date a girl like you with 2 kids. Because sure, in a million years, I wouldn't. What I would say is, Wendy, a Victoria's Secret model, I wouldn't have you set me up with if she was 37. That's just, it's double standard. But that's life. And she knows about double standards in life. It is what it is. So all I can say is, when I talk to her and I put in those terms, she gets it. She gets it. But you know, it's obvious it doesn't help if she got these fucking friends. Donna says, friends, I know. Charlie says, that tell her that you deserve the Superman.
Some guy who's a doctor who's single, who's just dying to take over the responsibility to kids who aren't his. Like, there's tons of very wealthy, successful, young, good-looking guys want to date her because nothing's more fun than having a 6-year-old fart in your face while you're trying to talk to your girlfriend when you get home from work. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, listen, do I look like the kind of guy that wants to come home from work and talk to my 37-year-old girlfriend while her kid farts in my face? No, with my nephews, I love them. But as far as dating someone, hell no. I want to go ahead and tell my girlfriend, listen, let's go away for the weekend. What time do you get off next Friday?
Here's the thing, Charlie. Not every guy is you. There's so many different types of people out there. Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay.
And Donna's just like, she's just too dumb to even, I don't know, she's too in love with her son to even call her son out on like some of the stupid shit he's saying. He's just like rambling on and on and on. And honestly, Charlie just rants and they continue talking. Donna Adelson's like, I feel like smacking her in the head. I mean, like going like, wake up, wake up. Charlie says, trust me, mom, as much as you believe me, let me say this much to you. As much as you feel like knocking over the head, I feel like punching her and then slapping over the head. Here's the bump video of Donna Adelson.
Black horse. What is it?
Oh, damn. Donna looking like that. You know the 90s water cup? Dude, what do you call this again? I don't know if there's a name for them, but it's like those white cups with the blue splash and then the purple on there. You guys know what I'm talking about? It kind of looks like the print.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Oh, this right here. Boom. Doesn't that look like Donna's outfit? The jazz design.
Excuse me, Mrs. Adelson? How you doing? Just want to give you this. Listen. You're scared. No, don't be scared. Listen, I just want to let you know that we know that your family has been taking care of Katie and her friend Uhoh for quite some time after your problem up north has been resolved. And I want to let you know that my brother, he's incarcerated. He helped your family with this problem you guys had up north. And we want
I'm surprised they didn't blur his face out.
to make sure that he's going through some rough times. We want to make sure that you take care of what he's going through the way you're taking care of Katie and Susan. Well, this will explain it. Thank you.
Pause it, please.
When she goes back into her building, she does.
And who is the first person that the defendant calls after the bump?
Charlie Adelson.
So these next calls, I feel like you guys have to listen it to yourself to see how low Donna is talking and how shady they are on these phone calls when it's just supposed to be them two, right? It's almost as if they think that maybe they're being wiretapped. So there is a transcript that is accompanying these calls. That way you can read it as well. And if you guys can't hear it, I don't know, maybe putting earplugs in could help, or not earplugs, earbuds in could help even more. But I feel like you guys have to listen to these calls.
Tonight after work, there were some other in the very near future, I need to speak with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Did someone write a letter to you or something?
I've got some paperwork hand delivered to me.
You're being sued?
No, that's what I thought it was, but I'm going to talk to you.
Okay.
She thought that she was being sued, but she said no.
Okay, so, I mean, I can I'll have to figure out something. Depends how late you'll be, wherever you are.
Well, I'm in Mitch Klein's office on Park Boulevard.
Okay.
So I'm right now in Skyline Chili, and I'll be at his office in the afternoon.
Okay. So the boys will finish their piano lesson around 4-ish, and I've got the traffic over there, and they take a ride with them up there.
Does Dad know about this?
The dad's at work today, fortunately.
What's is it IRS?
You know, those IRS people, they kind of bother you sometimes, but, you know, fortunately not now.
Okay.
So I will talk to you. I'll give you a heads up if I'm going to drive up that way. Okay? And,
Is Wendy down there? Is it involved Wendy?
No. So let me just talk to you later, and
Is that health okay?
Yeah.
Does it involve me or other people?
Well, probably both of us.
What's that?
Probably the two of us. So you probably have a general idea what I'm talking about. So let's just find some time to talk to each other and take the boys for a ride, okay?
You're going to take the boys up there?
Well, when he doesn't come home, he doesn't get here till about 7 when Dad gets here.
So it's harder to talk to me today.
He or tomorrow, and it's important.
All right. Well, I'll be up at Mitch Klein's office. You want to come up? Oh yeah. Oh really?
I'm just concerned that I just have to get up there and get back in time for Lindsay to get them. Sometimes she gets out a little earlier, but not coming out here.
Can I ask you a question? Whose paperwork sent from?
I see that, and it's great. It was something that came hand to hand to me. I exited the building today.
Was it anonymous or?
No, oh no, it's not anonymous. Not anonymous.
She said it's not anonymous, it's not anonymous. I don't want to discuss it over the phone.
I just don't want to discuss it over the phone.
Right, whatever it is. It's silly, but if you want,
I wouldn't bother you, trust me.
Yeah, you want me to come down to see you tomorrow? I get the day off.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Dad actually works later tomorrow. You know, he goes in at 1 o'clock. We both work out at the gym from 9:30 to 10:30. So
whatever it is, I'll take a look at the paperwork.
Yeah.
I hope it's not the IRS.
I just would like you to review it and give me some input into what your thoughts are. Okay? So come down tomorrow. Dad leaves at 12, so anytime after 12 would be good.
12 tomorrow?
Yeah, he leaves at 12. He starts at 1 there, so 12, 12:15.
I'll come down after that. I think I'll leave and see you soon.
That would be great.
Perfect. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Love you. Bye.
Would you just... Does she indicate that she's in fear on the call?
No, she does not.
She was handed a piece of paper that had an article about the murder of Dan Markell, right?
Correct.
That's what the interaction was about.
That's correct. That's what he handed her and made reference to it.
And when Charlie asked the defendant what it's about, what does she say?
She says to both of us.
Probably both of us. Probably the two of us.
And then the two of us said it twice.
Here's another phone call that takes place 20 minutes later. And Donna doesn't want to talk about it over the phone, but Charlie just keeps asking the question.
Do that. And listen, whatever it is, whatever someone sent you, I wouldn't worry too much about anything.
Okay.
I mean, so if someone can write whatever they want to write, someone can say whatever they want to say, and I'm not worried.
They're trying to speak in code, but it's like so janky. I want to read the bad reviews at the Adelson Institute.
So, was it another bad review on Yelp?
There's reviews come in. Sometimes there are bad reviews. This is a particularly bad one.
So I'm not being sued.
No.
Okay. All right. Honestly, it's whatever it is, and I wouldn't just judging from what you're making it sound like. I wouldn't stress it out too much.
Okay. I'll make you take me out to dinner, so make sure you bring cash with you.
All right.
Okay?
Do I need to bring cash?
Yeah, it's like if you take me out to dinner, I'm going to have to give you that's probably a good idea, right?
Was it, can I ask you, is someone blackmailing you?
Well, it's always a good possibility.
She says that's always a good possibility.
Do you think someone's trying to blackmail you?
Maybe.
No. Was this, can I just ask you this? Is this anything government related, or is this like whack job writing a letter to you?
Like who?
Is it like a whack job writing a letter to you, or is this government related?
No, I don't know.
I know, it's so funny. She's like trying not to say anything over the phone. She's trying to be very vague. And then Charlie just keeps asking questions. It's like, at this point, wouldn't you just be like, let's not talk about this over the phone? I mean, it's not like the murder happened 10 years ago and you're clueless as to what it could be about. I feel like you probably have a general idea what it is about.
So it's not government or military or anything like that?
No.
Who was the letter addressed to?
Me.
To you? That's crazy.
Crazy.
Did it have a? Do you know who sent it to you?
That was a pretty good idea. But let's walk in and just walk either.
And he came over and was it a young guy, an old guy?
So probably mid-30s. I wouldn't forget that face.
Really?
We can wait till it's time to go up there. I'm just concerned about getting back here in time when we say we're worried. I don't think it's a good idea for the girls to say we want to go. You know? All right.
Why wouldn't it be a good idea for Wendy to know that they took the boys to go see Uncle Charlie?
All right, let me ask you this. Do you want to take a picture of the letter and send me what someone sent you?
They're still talking. He's still asking questions.
How long was the letter?
No, it's just a copy of all of them. It's what was written in the letter. That was written in a copy of that letter.
Is the person threatening you?
I don't think we should.
I mean, it's kind of innocent. I was kind of thinking if there's a threat, you go to the police.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I don't think it's. People threaten you, gotta go to the police. But let me see what it is. Let me see what nonsense it is first. It won't be the first time I've been threatened. Okay. All right. If it's something serious, I'm going to recommend going to the police. So.
Oh no, I know. That's what I'm supposed to do.
So, all right, sounds good.
We'll talk tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
On this call, we hear the defendant say that this is a particularly bad Yelp review. Is this an example of code talk?
Yes.
This doesn't have anything to do with the Yelp review, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so already in call 2, we've got code words being used.
That's correct.
But it's like so half-assed. there's code words, and then there's like, you're sort of using code words, but then you're also saying what's happening, and then you're being very vague and being very weird about it. Like, she needs to go back and watch Casino or something, because when they were using code words, they were so much more smoother.
And she indicates that Charlie should bring cash, and if he doesn't have it, she'll bring it, right?
She does.
Does she indicate she knows
Or Goodfellas. I think they were using a lot of code words in Goodfellas.
who sent her the letter?
She does in a way. She knows who the person was by seeing him.
She says, I have a pretty good idea who sent it.
Right.
He asks if she wants to send him a picture of what she received from the person. What's her answer?
And she didn't think that was a good idea.
He asks if there's a threat, we should go to the police. What does she say about that?
She says, at the end, she finally says something like, we might do that, something around there.
Okay, but initially says not a good idea.
Correct.
And did anyone go to the police?
No.
Nope. Does she reiterate in this call, no talking on the phone?
Did she indicate that? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And is there a third call in which Charlie calls back and presses for more information again?
Yes, there is.
How soon after call B do we get that next call?
The next call is at 3 o'clock, so about 15 minutes after that call ended.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave a really bad Yelp review. I don't know how to wink smoothly, okay? That was a little rough.
All right, publish call C, please.
Obviously, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place.
Oh, obviously.
The other thing is, was the person black, white, Hispanic?
What?
And they just came up to you and they said your name and they handed you a piece of paper?
No, no, didn't hand it right away. First spoke to me for a while and then handed it to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And they wearing hats, sunglasses, or?
No, nothing.
Oh, because if you're trying to conceal your stuff and maybe you're an undercover agent, you'll be wearing a hat and glasses so they can't tell who you look like.
Nothing. Describe them to a T.
What's that?
You could describe them to a T. No, nothing.
Was the person nervous or were they angry? Or?
No, calm as could be. Totally calm.
That's really crazy. Are they trying to ask for money or something?
Yeah.
But if someone trying to, listen, if it's something like that, it sounds probably like you go to the police, but
And they have to, but they'd rather talk to you first.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, there's scumbags out there all the time that try to do stuff like that.
Oh, no.
Right. Oh, this is where Donna completely blows it. The TV is probably about 5. Fucking Donna. Fucking Donna.
Did the person give you any kind of like time frame or anything?
No.
Okay.
But
yeah.
It's clear what's wanted.
What is it? Kind of ask you, what do they ask for?
I don't know. This TV is probably about 5.
They asked you for $5,000.
Wouldn't you be like, what TV are you talking about? Why would a TV cost $5,000? That's really expensive for a TV.
That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
mentioned, like an ex-girlfriend.
Obviously, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place. And she says, obviously, right?
That's correct.
Why?
That's a good question.
Did you have the apartment bugged?
No, we did not.
Did the gang member have the apartment bugged?
No, we didn't.
And next, there's a statement, this TV is probably going to be about 5. Was there anything to do with the TV in this bump operation?
Yes.
What was the word TV mentioned to Donna Adelson when the undercover approached her?
No, not at all.
Did he say she was buying a TV for $5,000?
No.
Okay. So the TV, though, has significance in the greater context of your investigation?
That's correct.
How so?
Charlie Adelson had supposedly joked to several people about buying his sister a TV as a divorce present instead of hiring a hitman.
Right. And was that the same TV that also served as Wendy Adelson's alibi in the morning of the murder?
That's correct.
She says that the undercover, quote, mentioned an ex-girlfriend. Does she say the name of the ex-girlfriend to Charlie Adelson?
No, she doesn't.
All right. Did the undercover say the name of an ex-girlfriend to Donna Adelson?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
He said Katie and Tudo.
Okay. And does Charlie have more than one ex-girlfriend?
Yes, he does.
He has a litany of them, right?
He does.
Okay. So when Charlie hears ex-girlfriend, does he, in fact, on the next call one of his ex-girlfriends?
Yes, he does.
Okay. And he has not been told Katie yet?
That's correct.
Okay, who does he call?
He calls Catherine McManlin.
Is that our call D, the next call?
Yes, it is.
Publish call D, please.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear.
Okay. I just want you to listen to me. I'll be able to talk to you in person when I see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom walked the kids. I only heard part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go down there and talk to her tomorrow to find out what's going on.
Okay.
She didn't want to elaborate.
Uh-huh.
But she said that someone approached her on the street,
Uh-huh.
called her by name,
Mm-hmm.
handed her an envelope with something in it.
Yeah.
And somebody was, she really wouldn't go into detail. I have no idea what this is in reference to.
Uh-huh.
But something regarding her son, something regarding his ex-girlfriend, and the person asking my mom for some money.
What?
Yeah. So I said, I'm like, first what you're saying, I thought it was like something involving the IRS or a payment.
Yeah.
Or they called her by name, they handed her an envelope, and she said they spoke to her for a few minutes, and then she said they're making reference to my ex-girlfriend. I have no fucking clue what that's about.
Yeah.
And then they explained that they needed to be paid the money.
For what?
I guess mom didn't want to talk to me on the phone. But
like, did she see the person? Was she like, she should have like,
oh yeah,
or
I said,
something?
that's what I said. I said, someone's going to try to blackmail you or something.
Exactly,
Right.
right. You like that.
I said, yeah, you're fake the police. She's like, I don't even know what this is about. I don't want to talk about it. I said, well, take a picture and send me what it is. She's like, I just wanted to see it in person. So I'm going to go there. I can't even fucking go there today because I won't get out of work until 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So she's like, just.
So who's been talking to your mom?
I don't even fucking know. I don't know what's going on, what my mom's involved. You didn't do anything with my mom. I mean, yeah.
Look what I do with my mom.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking. I don't know what.
No, but I feel
who knows?
for your mom. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Like, person, like, just going up to your mom, like, hello.
Yeah, and my mom said it involved your ex-girlfriend, so I don't even think she said who. I'm just like, you're my last girlfriend, so that's why I called you.
What do they want from her?
I have no idea. So anyway, I'm gonna find out. Well, they wanted money. If they're mentioning you or if any reference to you, I'll keep you posted.
Why not doing me? Yeah, like
I don't know.
girlfriend.
Well, we'll talk. It could be any. So I just assumed that.
Well, but there's a reason why he's calling her out of all the thousands of ex-girlfriends that he's had before. It's because she did something for him.
Exactly.
But anyway, doesn't matter. So I may want to see you tomorrow if it does have anything to do with you. If it doesn't, then I feel like a fucking idiot for even following, wasting your time.
Like 9:30 to. You want me to get up? Okay.
What?
Anytime between 9:30 to like 3-ish, 4-ish. It depends.
It's so sad to hear her talking what I'm assuming is her children in the background. Whew, because she's about to lose her kids real soon. I think within the next couple of months.
Okay, I gotta get back in there. I'm gonna be in Miami, and when I'm done hanging out down there, I'm gonna call you. Okay?
Yeah, I'm like right there. So.
Did the undercover say anything about Charlie Adelson or Donna's son?
No.
Did the undercover reference Charlie Adelson at all?
No, he did not.
When Donna Adelson relayed to Charlie what the undercover did she say they mentioned you?
No.
But he deduces that he misremembers that it was about him.
That's what appears correct.
Did he proceed after this call to call any of his other ex-girlfriends?
No, he did not.
Is this April 20th, 2016?
That's correct.
Where did the meeting take place?
It took place behind Mrs. Adelson's building. They actually met in the building, we believe, and then came out the back of it and walked down. There's a boardwalk, sidewalk along the water behind their building. And they walked along the sidewalk to a restaurant called Monty's, and there's a table out by the water, out by itself, just behind the restaurant that they went and sat at and met there and talked.
What, if any, efforts were...
Ms. Adelson, if you need your hearing assisting device, please wear it so you do not miss any of the evidence. Please ask your question again.
What, if any, efforts were made to surveil
Did Donna take off her headphones?
or record the meeting between Charlie Adelson?
Maybe she took the headphones off because she doesn't need the headphones. Maybe it was all a ruse.
And the defendant.
Yes, I had recording equipment brought in, and we tried to get as close as we could to them. They sat out away from anyone else across the sidewalk, right by the water on one side of them and the sidewalk on the other, and we couldn't get very close to them without alerting them that we were there.
Were you able to record the contents of their conversation at that in-person meeting?
No, we tried, but it was inaudible. There's no
Were
audio.
you able to get any photographs of this in-person meeting?
I was.
Donna and Charlie.
Can you describe for the jury their demeanor, the way in which they were speaking at this meeting?
Yes, they were talking in very low voices, and Mr. Adelson is usually very loud, but he was not talking in a loud voice in this particular meeting. Even when they walked down the sidewalk, they were talking very low, leaning into each other, almost a whisper.
How long did the meeting last?
I believe around 30 minutes at the table.
They were having a secret love affair. Duh. That should be their explanation. Ooh, long day. So the court is going to break for the day. We'll continue with more testimony tomorrow. Now, Georgia did say that she would probably be done with all her witnesses, I think, by the end of tomorrow. So I'm thinking maybe Charlie will testify tomorrow at some point. And then who else is on the list? I think that's, maybe the jail informant. Maybe they're going to have her testify against Don. Oh, I think so. Promising, what was it, like veneers, drugs? What else did she promise? Just random shit, I guess. But anyways, that's what I'm looking forward to testifying to tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We did day 1 recap, day 2 recap, which is broken into, Remy says hi, into 2 parts. And then day 3 should have been out already. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Stop by the live stream and say hello. My dog is going crazy right now. I'll see you guys later. Bye.